How many here tonight know what lutefisk is?
Yay!
Well, lutefisk is a dried cod that has been soaked in a lye solution for several days to rehydrate it. It is rinsed in cold water to remove the lye, then baked or boiled, and later served with butter, salt, and pepper. The finished lutefisk is usually the consistency of jello. American and Canadian Norwegians believe that the lutefisk was brought by their ancestors on ships when they came to America, and it was all they had to eat. It is also said about half the Norwegians who immigrated to America came to escape a hateful lutefisk. The other half came to spread the gospel of the lutefisk's wonderfulness. Lutefisk is traditionally served for Thanksgiving and Christmas. In many homes, lutefisk takes the place of the Christmas turkey. It is a food that you either love or hate, and as some people say, once a year is enough. This is my version of the wonderfulness of lutefisk. 'Twas the night before Christmas, with things all a-bustle, as Mama got set for the Christmas Eve tussle. Aunts, uncles, and cousins would soon be arriving, with stomachs all ready for Christmas Eve dining. While I sat alone with a feeling of dread, as visions of lutefisk danced in my head. The thought of the smell made my eyeballs start burning. The thought of the taste sent my stomach to churning. For I'm one of those good Norwegian rebuffs, a Scandinavian who can't stand the stuff. Each year, however, I played at the game to spare Mama and Papa the undying shame. I must bear up bravely. I can't take the risk of relatives knowing I ate lutefisk. I know they would spurn me, my presence withhold, if the unthinkable, unspeakable truth they were told. Then out in the yard I heard such a clatter. I jumped up to see what was the matter. There in the snow, all in a jumble, 3 of my uncles had taken a tumble. My aunts, as usual, gave them what for, and soon they were up and through the door. Then with talk and more cheer, an hour was passed as Mama finished the Christmas repast. From out in the kitchen an odor came stealing that fairly sent my senses reeling. The smell of lutefisk crept down the hall and wilted a plant in a pot on the wall. The others reacted as though they were smitten, while the aroma laid low my small, helpless kitten. Uncles Oscar and Lars said, "Oh, that smells yummy," and Kermit's eyes glittered while he patted his tummy. The scent skipped off the ceiling and bounced off the door, and the bird in the cuckoo clock fell on the floor. Mama announced dinner by ringing a bell. They pushed to the table with a yelp and a yell. I lifted my eyes to heaven and sighed, and a rose on the wallpaper withered and died. With wooden legs, I found my chair and sat in silence with an unseeing stare. Most of the food was already in place. There remained only to fill the lutefisk's place. Then Mama came proudly with a bowl on a trivet. You would think that the crown jewels were in it. She placed it carefully down and took her seat, and Papa said grace before we could eat. It seemed to me, with a whirling head, the shortest prayer he had ever said. Then Mama lifted the cover on the steaming dish, and I was face to face with the quivering fish. "Me first," I heard Uncle Kermit call, while I watched the paint peel off the wall. The plates were passed for Papa to fill. I waited in agony between fever and chill. He dipped in the spoon and held it up high. As it oozed on the plates, I thought I would die. Then came to my plate and to my feverish brain there seemed enough lutefisk to derail a train. It looked like a mountain of congealing glue, oddly transparent yet discolored the hue. With butter and cream sauce I tried to conceal it. I salted and peppered, but the smell still revealed it. I drummed up my courage, I tried to be bold. Mama reminds me, eat before it gets cold. I decided to face it. Oofta, I sighed. Oofta indeed, my stomach replied. Then I summoned that resolve for which every breed is known. My hand took the fork with a mind of its own, and with reckless abandon that lutefisk I ate. Within 20 seconds, I'd clean my plate. Uncle Kermit flashed me an ear-to-ear grin as butter and cream dripped off his chin. Then, to my great shock, he whispered in my ear, "I'm sure glad this is over for another year." It was then I learned a great and wonderful truth, that Swedes and Norwegians, from old men to youth, must each pay their dues to have the great joy of being known as a good Scandinavian boy. And now that I've enjoyed and endured the lutefisk, I can go and enjoy the lefse and the kronkakas and all the good Norwegian baking.